Hello and welcome to Saturday Night Crafting. I'm so pleased you're here to join with me tonight. I've got some really fun, quick and easy crafting for you. This is going to be number 18 in my series of When You Only Have Half an Hour. So there are plenty of videos to watch through. I'll link that playlist in the top right hand corner and put it in the description box for you below. Now again, it's been a bit hectic here for me, but finally today my husband came back from Spain. He's been there for 5 weeks, so we've had a lovely little catch up this morning and we are straight into creating our fun cards tonight. Getting started, I'm using this colored card here, or this colored paper. I've had this for ages in my stash and it is still available online, so I'll link it down below for you if you want to get some. I'm going to use the 8x8 paper pack. It comes with more colors and a few more sheets, and I'm just going to use that because it gives you like a nice ombre selection of colors and it is going to be quite fun for today's crafting. You can obviously use any scraps you've got in your stash, any spare paper. Now we are going to be focusing on lines and how lines can really pull together a card. They're cheap and they're easy. All you need is a ruler and a pen. So it's quite nice and quick and easy to do. Now if you aren't subscribed already, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell notification, and you will get loads of notifications of when I produce my content, which should be twice a week. At the moment it's just once, just because it's been a bit busy in life. Now I have drawn myself 3 lines. I like 3. 3 just seems to work all the time. It's really pleasing to the eye. So I've done 3 lines on one side, 3 on the other. If you're really short for time, then just do 3 lines on one side. Don't even bother going with another side. Now I've got punches because punches again save time, make things quick and easy. You can use dies or whatever you've got in your stash. So I'm punching out some stars. I needed some more masculine birthday cards, and so I'm going with some masculine colors and a nice birthday stamp. So I'm going ahead and using my stamp platform just because I find it's much easier to get a really nice deep dark hue of ink if I can stamp it a couple times over. So I'm using my VersaFine Clair Black Onyx ink. This is my go-to black ink. It is the best, most solid black ink you will find on the market, and it is so fantastic and gives a quick, like a beautiful clear result every single time. So I've stamped that down on my card, and now I'm going to use some foam squares and I'm just going to pop up these stars randomly all over my lines so it kind of looks like they're attached to lines. And I've seen cards like this before where they've had lines and other shapes on them, and I've always been kind of inspired to do something similar and create something fun using lines because they are so nice and quick and easy to do. So once I've got all my stars down, that kind of finishes off the card. If I wanted to, I could do my stars slightly off the edge of my card as well and then trim them so it looks like they kind of are flowing from the edge of the card as well. Now if you want to step it up a little bit, you can go ahead and do a darker card and use a white gel pen, and that will really make it pop off. Just be careful when you're using your ruler. You don't drag your ruler. You got to lift it when you're drawing your lines. If you drag it, it will smudge your ink as you go. So make sure you're lifting up that ruler while you're putting down your lines. Now, in keeping with the white on black, I'm going to use the Hero Arts pigment ink in Unicorn White, and I will stamp that on. Now, you can obviously use embossing ink if you want, an embossing powder. However, I'm going for speed and time. So again, I'm going to stamp it 3 to 4 times just to get that white ink really nicely on there. This time I'm going to use some dies. I've got these beautiful, cute little balloon dies which emboss on the outside of the die as well as the inside. So they're quite fun for using for cards. If you wanted to do like a shaker, you could then get the embossing on the outside edge as well as the inside edge. So I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing. I'm going to draw some lines. However, this time I'm going to step it up and I'm going to do all 4 sides. So we are going to have a really nice fun border around all the sides of the card, and that way my image can go right in the center. My little sentiment can go right in the center. Now if you have not enough time or not as much time, you can do exactly what we did before. Take your stamp and stamp that image directly into the middle of your squares. And I do apologize, I will come back to that black card. I just realized I didn't show you the finished product. That will come at the end of the video. I'll share it with you. I wanted to move on to the next one. I got really excited. So again, I'm going to use my Hero Arts Unicorn ink, and I'm going to ink that up and stamp it down a few times till I get my beautiful greeting in the middle. Now this is when you're a bit short on time. If you've got a little bit more time, you could go and grab some dies and you could actually make your sentiment pop up a little bit more. Just gives it a little bit of a different look. Gives you another option of what you can do when you've got a bit more time on your hands to add a little bit more character and dimension to your card. So I'm going to take the exact same colored cardstock. It's actually my offcuts from making my card. These are all 5x5 inch cards. I love doing square cards. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that little square out and pop it in the middle. Now again, if you've got more time, you can go ahead and heat emboss it, which gives you a bit more of a pigmented, brighter white on that. Now don't forget to use your embossing powder bag, embossing buddy, whatever you've got, just to remove that static, so that when you add the embossing powder, you're not going to get little sprinkles of white anywhere on the card, because the white really does pop off of the card quite well. So you want to make sure you use those embossing buddies to get rid of any of those little speckles that could possibly appear. So there you can see the white before, when it's just the ink, versus the versus the embossing powder, and how much brighter white that is. So I've popped that up on there on the center, and then I can go ahead and do the exact same thing and pop my stars up with some foam pads and pop them all around the edge. So those are your kind of two options there. And then here's the balloon one that I did. I die cut out some of those balloons. The reason I got distracted is my son came in and gave me a hand and cut all these balloons out for me, and then made himself a birthday card for his best friend's birthday tomorrow. So I got a little distracted along the way. Now, if you want to step it up again, you've got a little bit more time, you can go ahead and get some watercolor cardstock. This stuff is from Arteza. I really like it. I find it a really good quality, and I just like how it works. So I use Arteza's watercolor pad and cut it down to 5x5 inches card base, and I'm going to use some of these Cosmic Shimmer watercolory powders. I'm really losing my words today. I'm going to sprinkle on just a very small fine amount, not much at all, just a few dots of it, and then give it a very, very light misting of water. I'm not saturating the card, I'm just giving the lightest mist of water and setting that aside to dry, because I want those colors to pop. So I'm using this one because it's got the blues, it's got the greens, a little bit of yellow in there. Goes really well with the colors of stars that I've picked out. So when I've done that, I'm going to do the exact same thing, pop it in my stamp platform, and then I'm going to stamp my sentiment on the middle. Now, because this is the shimmery powder, I find the Cosmic Shimmer ones kind of let the shimmer come off a bit, so I'm making sure to clean my stamp in between every stamp of ink so that I don't end up with the shimmer on my ink pad. Now again, I can do the same thing, and I can go ahead and add my stars in once my lines are all drawn. This time I'm just going to keep it flat, and I'm going to add some glue and just stick down my stars directly on there. And I'm going ever so slightly off the side of my card with my stars, and then I will trim off the edges of those stars so they kind of look like they're flowing around the card. And that finishes off that one there. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's crafting. It was nice, quick and easy. I hope it gives you lots of inspiration for whatever time you've got on your hands, that you can go ahead and make a card quite quick and easily, depending on what time scale you've got. Again, don't forget to check out the rest of the playlist. I've got loads of really quick crafting ideas when you only have half an hour to work with. Take care, have a fabulous weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.